Hello. Yeah, good morning. My name is Rini. I'm calling from Rivert Engineering, Ludhiana. Am I speaking to Siddhant? Good morning, Rini madam. I'm Siddhant on the line. How are you? Good morning, Siddhant. I'm fine. I'm calling you on behalf of this company, HR department. I'm the HR manager in regards to having a telephonic conversation with you. And you will really glad to hear that your CV has been shortlisted for the post of fresher engineer, mechanical engineer, uh, and your CV has been shortlisted for the further round of telephonic interview. So, is this the appropriate time to talk to you? Sure, ma'am. I am free to talk. Okay, Siddhant. Tell me something about yourself. Madam, my name is Siddhant. I am graduate from Hinduja College, Delhi in 2020. I chose mechanical engineering as my career because since childhood I was very fond of mechanics and how they work, how the machines they does work. I love researching machines and have done well during my college days, because of which I got an excellent internship opportunity that I just completed. This motivated me to look for a full-time job in a company where I will hone my existing skill and learn new ones. Siddhant, why do you want to work at our company? Madam, this company is offering me an excellent opportunity to explore and contribute to the industry. I feel I am very well studied or suited for this position because I am very knowledgeable in this sector. I am well aware of your company's production and its reach. After reading about your company, I thought how exciting it would be to work here. Moreover, the learning exposure is excellent. I am looking forward to contributing to this company's success and learning new skills in this process. Are you aware of the kinds of products our company makes? Yes, madam. I am aware that the company is involved in manufacturing rolling mills and are distributed in several top companies which are spread nationally and internationally. What were your grades during the course of study in degree college? Madam, I got 78% GDPA during the first 4 semesters and 80% CGPA in the 5th and 6th semesters consecutively. Siddhant, how many years did you take to complete mechanical engineering? Madam, it took 5 years to complete mechanical engineering, which includes 1 year of internship. Which subject did you find the most challenging in the college? Madam, power engineering and strength of material were the most challenging subjects for me, as I found the calculations and formulas very difficult to understand. There were many questions and deviations which were challenging, but once understood, it was fun. Which was the subject you were most focused on? Madam, the most focused subject was engineering drawing, and it is the primary language of all the engineers and is the base of engineering study. Moreover, it's a document that transfers technical detail and states the requirements. I have always been fond of geometry since school, and it is very necessary for the construction of a component. What skills do you think a mechanical engineer must possess to be successful? Out of all the skills that a mechanical engineer must have, the most important in my opinion is a problem solving skill. To solve a problem, That person should have the ability to see things from the different perspectives and should be able to decide on what will happen if. This also requires them to be innovative and try different techniques. If one doesn't work, moreover, explaining ideas to another person can be tricky who is not involved in that field. So, good communication skills are a must to become a successful mechanical engineer. What was your project during college and how was your experience doing it? The project I worked on during my college was making a hand pump in a group of 6 students. We carried out deep research followed by drawing and stage-wise project report writing under the guidance of HOD. The overall experience was fun and informative. How did you carry out the design process? Firstly, I carried out extensive research on the wants and needs of the market and the scope of my target with versatile ability. Then I focused on the design solution by brainstorming, sketching, and through trial and test methods with my entire team. Then in the next stage, my teammates and I decided to go with the two best suited ideas that we thought will work and turned them into prototype. Then a filtration was made on these two based on their use and ease. Finally, we focused on creating the actual project. Feedback was also taken later on what the consumer expected improvements. Can you explain to me what a cotter joint is and where it is used? It is a flat cotter wedge or taper pin inserted in between two joining parts. It is usually used in one circulation motion spindle to transfer circular motion to another spindle. A cotton joint consists of three elements. Cotter, it is a part after which the joint is named. The shape of this metal is like a wedge. This part passes through the rectangular slot on the spigot and sockets. Spigot, it is the male part of the joint which is inserted into the socket. It has a rectangle slot through which the cotter is passed. Socket, it is the female part of the joint. There is a hole in this part where the spigot is fitted. This part too has a rectangular slot for the cotter to pass through. How do pneumatics work? Pneumatics is an easy way of making things move by just using clean and dry air. It is used in factory automation systems as these systems were compressed air to create mechanical motion and power. The pneumatics use an air compressor and reduce the volume of air to increase its pressure. Then it is moved into a filter is pneumatic tubing where it is controlled by a valve before reaching an actuator. How many laws of thermodynamics are there and what is the name of them? There are 3 laws of thermodynamics. The first law is also called the law of conservation of energy, which says that energy cannot be created or destroyed in an isolated system. The second law of thermodynamics says that the entropy of the isolated system never decreases. The third law of thermodynamics says that the entropy of a system approaches zero as the temperature approaches zero. What is a bearing and where it is used? A bearing is a machine element that helps smooth motion between two moving parts by reducing the friction and constraining relative motion only to the desired portion. Nearly all the industries that use machinery and equipment have bearing in them. The most common example where bearing can be seen is in bicycle. What is the difference between a pneumatic system and a hydraulic system? Pneumatic system and hydraulic systems are both applications of fluid power, but there are some very significant differences. Like in hydraulic, fluid is used for the working of the system, where in pneumatic, air or gas is used for the working of the system. The hydraulic system produces more power, the pneumatic system produces less power. As the hydraulic system has high pressure, it's not easy to operate, whereas the pneumatic system is easy to operate. Hydraulic systems require high maintenance. The pneumatic system is easy to maintain with minimal cost. Working fluid is hydraulic system is costly as compared to the pneumatic system. What do you mean by case hardening? A case hardening is a technique used to harden the surface of a metal while keeping the deep layer underneath to remain soft. It is done by infusing more carbon or nitrogen into the surface layer, thus making the metal more resistant and durable. What is the difference between an electric motor and an electric generator? Fundamentally, there is no difference between an electric motor and electric generator. It is daily use. All motors work as generator and all generators behave like motors. However, as the name suggests, an electric generator generates electricity. On the other hand, an electric motor uses electricity. Additionally, an electric motor transforms electrical energy into mechanical energy, and an electric generator transforms mechanical energy into electric energy. Which are some of the household devices in which electric motors are used? Devices that use electric motors are water pumps, electric mixers, electric fans, MP3 players, and washing machines. How do you know about spinning jenny? Spinning jenny was invented by James Hargreaves. The purpose of this machine was to revolutionize the process of cotton spinning. By turning one single wheel, the thread was spun using 8 spindles, which made the work of the operator easier. Can you explain how electricity is produced during coal power plant? Firstly, coal is grounded into fine powder by putting it in a pulverizer in a device called a boiler. Later it is burned. The heat which is produced by burning converts water that is present in the boiler to steam. The high pressure of the steam turns the blades of a turbine. This results in the spinning of the generator and electricity is produced. What is a turboprop engine? Turboprop is a word derived under combining the word turbine and the propeller. A turboprop engine is a gas turbine engine that provides power to a propeller. It is usually seen in aircraft. It works in the same way as a turbojet to manufacture energy by incorporating a combustor. The compressor in the turbine which the gas generates. It converts the bulk of its thrust into rotational energy. These engines are significant for safe and efficient regional travel. How is iron ore turned into steel? Can you explain the working of concentrate process? The two main elements are iron ore and coking coal. Firstly, coking coal, iron ore and limestones are combined to the blast furnace. During this process, heated air is blown into the base of the furnace to speed up the process of combustion. The combustion is of iron ore with other element produces molten pig iron, which is later converted into steel. Limestone helps in capturing the impurities in the blast furnace. It is used a valve system to run smoothly and some basic principles of hydraulic. The mixing truck mixes the concentrate in its rotating drum and make it in a liquid state. The liquid concentrate is then poured into a hopper and the hopper continues to churn it so it doesn't get into the solid state. Later the concentrate pump suck the liquid concentrate out of the hopper through the valve system and it is then laid down in the area where it is required. What is the density of plastic? This mechanical engineering interview question. This is the polypropylene which has density of 0.92 grams per cubic centimeter. The other common type of plastic is polyvinyl chloride PVC, which has a density of 1.38 grams per cubic centimeter, and the polyamide, which has a density of 1.15 gram per cubic centimeter. Polythene has 3 different types, which is categorized on its density itself. What is orthographic drawing? Orthographic drawing is a presentation of three-dimensional object as two dimensions of, is a form of parallel projection in which the lines are orthogonal and to the projection plane. It shows the objects from all sides as it is seen in a three-dimensional object. This is useful to see the hidden details and connecting parts that are difficult to notice in a three-dimensional object, making the manufacturing process more manageable and affordable. What is feasibility study? Feasibility study is a way to recognize that the market needs or the business to be undertaken according to the wants and needs. It helps in determining if a business opportunity is possible, practical and viable and grabbing it. It gives a realistic view by identifying both the positive as well as negative aspects of the study. What are the advantages of gear drive? Gear is a machine component with multiple advantages because of its ability to transfer mechanical power from one shaft to another. It is helpful for compact construction as the entire distance between the shafts is relatively tiny. It is highly efficient. It works well even at low speed. Its size is very compact in construction. Its velocity ratio always remains constant as it is used for positive drive. They have good longevity. Maintaining it is very easy and it's only require lubricant to ensure its smooth running. Screws are classified based on the following parameters: screw head, screw thread type, screw drive type. Which are the different types of screws and what are their uses? There are many types of screws. Wood screws made up of bronze, brass or steel are used while working with wood. Drywall screws are used for drywall panels. These come in two types: W-type screws and S-type screws. Self-tapping screws. These screws can work as drywall, wood or metal sheet screws. They can be used without a drill. Metal sheet screws are universal screws that can be used anywhere where joining rubber, plastic, metal or plywood. Masonry screws need pre-drilling as they don't have a pointed end. What is a moment of inertia? The moment of inertia is also commonly known as mass moment of inertia, angular mass or second moment of mass. It is quantity that estimates the torque required for angular acceleration and how far it can resist. It is derived by the addition of products on the mass of each particle in the body and the square of its distance from the axis of rotation. What rules are required to be followed to have good quality castings? Following rules are essential and should be kept in mind to have a good quality of castings. Make sure the thickness is minimal so that the flow of materials is smooth. Keep the casting as simple as you can. The sharp corners should be avoided. All the sections must be kept uniform as much as possible. Webs and rips should be kept minimum. What is geometric dimensioning and tolerancing? Geometric dimensioning and tolerancing uses a symbolic language on engineering drawing and solid models that are three-dimensional. It helps the manufacturer be precise and accurate while manufacturing machine on each controlled feature of this part. It helps determining the size of every individual feature and location in between them. What are the different types of fits? There are mainly three groups of fits. First is the clearance fit that allow for loose matting where free movement is necessary. This is used where the elements are required to be able to slide in safety without any obstructions. Second is the interference fit, which is relatively tighter than a clearance fit. It requires some amount of force to join two components. The third one is a transmission fit, which falls between clearance fit and interference fit. These are used when accurate alignment is essential and making parts need great precision while joining. What is mechanical refrigeration? Mechanical refrigeration is a process in which heat is extracted from a location using the man-made heat exchange system. The system of refrigeration could be non-cyclic or cyclic, magnetic or thermoelectric. It depends upon the application for which there is a need for refrigeration. What is knurling? Knurling is a process of manufacturing conducted on the lathe, and a pattern of angled or crossed or straight lines is pressed into the material. If you cannot get the desired result from a prototype, what will be your next move? As we all know, prototypes are meant to be the trial for error purpose. So I can't expect it to work just fine on the very first try. Testing it and fixing the problem and later seeing that my design has been functional is what will make me happy. I enjoyed applying my theoretical knowledge as I have focused on it a lot. In case there is a need to work under pressure and rotational shift timing, will you be able to handle it? Yes, being in this industry has trained me well to work under pressure. The study part was not easy, and there were times when I worked day and night brainstorming on a particular project. Also, this industry demands flexibility to work in different shifts, and I am prepared for it. How will you describe your design from a person that doesn't belong to your industry? Wherever there is a situation of explaining the design to someone who is not from mechanical engineering, I try to avoid using the technical language as much as possible. If there is need to use a technical term, I will make sure the person knows what that word means. It is very important for the person to know the exact purpose of the design and its wonders. Moreover, I will answer any of their questions very happily. This also shows how much they have understood, and I am saying and explaining is again if needed. Tell us your experience when you worked on an engineering project that failed. I was working in a team of 6 when we had to design a wheelchair for disabled patient, which would make the work of pushing it easy for the staff. We just had to make changes to the outdated wheelchairs being used. We were ready with a prototype that could serve the purpose, but later got clear instructions that wheelchair was for transporting obese patients. We then had to start from scratch, which took a lot of time and increased our cost. The next time we made it, we decided to work on an assumptions basis and ask too many questions to ensure the purpose and use. Is it okay to use motor oil in a hydraulic system? Would you please justify your answer? No, motor oil cannot be used in a hydraulic system, as motor oil runs at a very high temperature and hydraulic oil will start to fail at 45 centigrade. Once the hydraulic oil is run over this heat for an extended period of time, the oil will burn. This will lead to a small particle stuck in the filter, which will trigger the pump to cut out. The filter will have to be changed, which will make it a costly job. Okay, Siddhant, your telephonic round of interview is over now, and thanks for giving your time to attend this interview. And the progress of this interview and the status we will let you know, and will inform you shortly if you will get selected for the further round of face-to-face interview, and hope for the best. Thanks for coming. Thank you, ma'am. I have also learned a lot from this interview. Thanks. Okay, bye-bye. Bye, madam.